Hello, and welcome to the first Wonky 73 Rambles Incoherently About International News Stories podcast, I guess. This is just something I decided to do for fun. I recently, a couple months ago, started reading a lot of international news from sites like France 24 and the BBC. You get a much wider range of news from these sources than you do from the U.S. ones, and these usually had me rambling to my friends and annoying them with conversations about places and things they didn't care about. So I thought, hey, I'd make a little podcast about them. Pick a few stories a day, or whenever, I don't know how often this will be, and just give my incoherent rambles on them. I will be putting links to these news stories in the blog post that goes along with this audio. So the first news story today is, I'm not going to read them out verbatim, obviously, that'd probably break some rule. The first news story today is actually from France 24, where I learn about Chevy. GM. They're planning to shut down the Hummer line. They were trying to sell it to a Chinese heavy manufacturing concern. That failed. So now they have to just shut it down, which makes me so sad to see Hummer go away. Ooh, should have gone away so long ago. And this leads me to another thing. Don't have a lot of comment on that. I went to the auto show recently. Very disappointing auto show. You can tell times are tough. There's a Chicago auto show, the biggest one in North America. It was just very disappointing to me. There was none of the cars I wanted. They had the big normal people, Toyota, Honda, yada yada yada. But I go there for cars I can't afford. I don't go there to see a car I can actually buy. I don't want to see a Hyundai. I go there to see the cars they drive on Top Gear. I want Ferraris, and there were two Lamborghinis. Whoop-de-doo. There was no Aston Martin, which is, I believe, now an Indian company, probably. Like India makes most of the cars in the world these days. No Aston Martin. Porsche, which was on the map, they pulled out. There was no Porsches there. It was very boring, very depressing. I hardly took any pictures because I really don't want to take a picture of a crossover SUV from stupid company here. So please let the recession in so I can see cool cars. Next story is a conglomeration of several stories about the economic collapse in Greece, which I keep rambling on about with my friends. It's even in one of my videos. The Greek economy is in big trouble. A lot of debt. Apparently, the previous government who was voted out was lying to the European Union, or the Eurozone, as they call it. The Eurozone are the countries that use the euro that contribute to it, which is not all the countries within the European Union. It's just a subset of them that use the euro that affect, its value against the dollar and the pound, etc. So the instability with the Greek economy is driving the euro down, which is why it's down at like $1.35 for $1.35 to €1 when it was up at like $1.50 not that long ago, which is good for anybody who wants to go to Europe. Go to Europe now. And so to combat this, the Eurozone they have these rules set up where you have to keep a balanced budget and all this other stuff. Greece ignored these rules, broke them. Apparently, a whole bunch of other European countries broke them as well. Spain, Portugal, all these countries are having a lot of problems with their debt economies, and it's driving the euro down. So these Eurozone companies have forced Greece to agree to an austerity program in order to get their debt down by 4% this year alone. Now, this is what anyone would have to do when they find out their budget is not balanced. They have to decrease spending and increase revenue. So increase taxes and cut back on social programs, things like that. So the people in Greece freak. They're in the streets, they're rioting, they're fighting the police, they're going berserk instead of working a job, I guess. This is being led prominently by the unions and actual communists. They have actual communists in Greece, should tell you something about the country, who don't apparently understand simple economics. There is no money. They want to reform the pension program because they have a national pension program everybody gets, and it's going to be bankrupt in like 4 years. These people don't care. Riot, protest, we want our stuff. No, there is no money. They don't understand simple mathematics and dollar signs. It just annoys me. It's like, what, you become a communist and they put a bolt gun to your head, lobotomy? I don't understand. It's just, how do you not understand simple things like this? If there is no money, you can't have any. If you want to improve the situation, go out and get a job. Don't protest. Because I'm assuming they don't have a job, but maybe they do. Unions probably have jobs they don't work ever at. You can tell my opinion, unions is not too highly. Way lower for European unions, apparently, than U.S. ones. So then there was also another one of the stories about this was their big program was the plutocrats had to pay raise taxes. The rich people, and it's like, well, the rich people already pay a predominant amount of the taxes. Poor people don't pay taxes, rich people do. So they're already paying. In fact, because of the rich people, they're the ones who have money to make money that helps the country get out of the bad recession. Simple economics, people. Logic, economics. Once again, Morgan lobotomy. Our third story on this is the Eurozone's reaction. The Eurozone has set these goals. They don't think the Greek government is going to be able to actually accomplish them. And if not, they can vote just to basically take over the Greek economy. I was freaked out by this. That's what you get for joining the Eurozone and getting in the euro. You had your drachmas, or whatever Greece had. So now they can just say, well, you have no say in your what happens to your country anymore. They can just pull out the Greek government and force these austerity programs on the people, and they don't have to be there for the rioting. So it's works out well for them, I guess. Keep the euro up. And one final story in Italy, a story that annoys me greatly, as all these stories do. 3 Google executives have been sentenced to prison for a video that was put up on Google or on YouTube in Italy. Now, yes, they actually do have safe harbor laws in Europe, but apparently the Italians didn't care. The fact that Google instantly took down this video, which actually I don't think they should have. I don't believe in any sort of censorship, even if this was a horrible video. It was some people abusing a Down syndrome teenager being bullied, which is a horrible thing, but I think it should be allowed to be shown. But that's just me and my contempt for censorship. And so these 3 executives have they've been sentenced. They've been, you're responsible for this. It's like, it even goes against the own Italian laws they have for safe harbor. It's like, no, they can't be held responsible for something they put up and then took down the second they heard of it. So it's disgusting. It's horrible. I hope somebody gets smacked around about it. So that's it. That is the first Wonky Rambles Incoherently about international news. You'll probably hear me whining, complaining a lot about European unions. These people seem really stupid. Don't understand them. And other things. So, it was fun. Au revoir. Oh, that was terrible. Adieu. That's better. Bye-bye.